welcome to the next episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. What we're going to do today is look at extracting stone, turning that stone into gravel, and then storing that gravel. And hopefully that should cover a good segment of what I want to show you today. That actually includes other things like showing you how to purchase vehicles and fuel in those vehicles. So there's quite a lot involved in the whole process, I'd say. So if we crack on, the first thing we're going to need is something to actually get the stone out of the ground. So within gravel, coal and iron from the construction menu, you can see a gravel quarry, and this will actually get the stone out of the ground. What we need to do is be very careful where we place it. A bit like the coal, if it's green, it means the resource is plentiful. So as you can see, it's green, so there's some here, as opposed to here where it's red and there will be nothing taken from there. So I will opt to place it up here for the reason as well that it connects to the power plant as well. So you've got just in range there. I might need to zoom in a little bit more just to see the silhouette of the construction. So hold shift and mouse wheel to zoom in. And we're going to have it facing this way because the road needs to be accessible by the vehicle we're going to place here in a minute. So let me see if we can place this here. So hold the left mouse button down, flatten the ground so it turns green. Okay, and if we now look to get the gravel processing plant, it doesn't have to be next to it at all. So remember what I said in the first video, I was going to try and keep this area like the industrial centre, and then we're going to use this as the living quarters, and we'll move our workers by bus at some point. I don't know if we'll do that in this video, but at least the next one, I'd say. So let's put this, and you'll notice actually these green arrows, they basically indicate that they're coming out of the building. So when the gravel is processed, the stone is processed into gravel, even in this building, you can then use those outward green arrows to move the gravel into a storage facility. So let's put this, say, here. No, actually here would be fine. So let's just get that connected to the road automatically. You can see it's already picked that up. Hold left down, flatten the ground. Gone green, excellent. And we'll just get our quarry connected by road as well. So from the infrastructure menu, it looks like we'll have to do a bit of road changes or terrain changes to get this to work. Let's just take this back a couple of steps. Here we are. Okay, this is actually saying it's too steep of a descent, so we'll try and get this a little flatter. Let's try this. Not sure if that made any difference. I can see that that's not the right geography, so let's maybe raise this up a little bit. Let's bring up the wireframe as well. It's not looking great. That's the thing when you're building things on the cliffs. Getting back down to the ground can be quite fiddly. That up a little bit more. Ooh, green. Promise something. There we go. As a lot of things in this field would have seen by now, roads can be the most frustrating aspect, but you get there in the end. So we've got there. Perfect. So start this process then. is in the gravel quarry. Now you don't actually need workers. I know it says there are no workers or mechanisms, but we're going to use a mechanism rather than workers, so we'll start using vehicles at this point. So you'll see at the top of the menu here, you can buy in dollars, but there aren't anything from that side of things. But we do have a couple of things that we can buy in rubles. Again, hover over the vehicles to see which one you prefer. So level 33 and level 22. This one's slightly more expensive and it's better. So because we're not caring too much about money, let's have one of those, shall we? And you'll see there is our excavator. So what will happen is it will excavate stone from here, and the stone that's produced in there will get turned into gravel here. Now you've got to find a way of getting one item, the stone, to this location. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a dumper truck to take the stone away. And to do that, we need another type of building we've not seen before. We can get this from here, I believe. Infrastructure, roads, and road vehicles depot. Okay, so we'll grab one of those. And it's just as it says in the tin, it's effectively somewhere where you can buy road vehicles. So let's just put this here. And then we'll have some fun connecting the road. Maybe we'll have it coming out this side just because it's easier, hopefully. Right mouse button down for road, remember, if it's yellow, until it sorts itself out, and then when it turns green you can let go and it'll build. So click on the road vehicles depot and you'll see that there's several boxes, and these individual boxes represent these parking spaces. There's one for each, and these are filled with different vehicles. So again, you can buy something in dollars or you can buy something in rubles. So we're just sticking to rubles today, aren't we? So let's break this down. So we're going to need a dumper. So click on dumper. If you hover over one, it tells you what it can take. So we want something that can take quarried stone. So the top middle material is listed there. 7 tons, 4.5 tons, and a 12-ton one. Because we're probably going to want to get as much out as possible per transit. Let's go for the most expensive one again, so the one that can take the most stone. So we single click on it, and there he is in our car park waiting to be used. So we can look a little bit about the vehicle. So double click on it and it just tells us again a bit of a summary as to what it can take and how much it's got in the back, if it's actually got any material in there already. You'll see as well, this is interesting, fuel, and it's quite low, it's near the empty mark. So we're going to need to fuel our own vehicles. And to do that, we will need a petrol station, which is can be found in a couple of places, I think, but infrastructure, roads, and then gas station. And then if we put this possibly here, if we can squeeze it in, it's quite central because everything can fill up from here. It requires energy, so it's connected nicely to the power station. Put that there, if it'll let us. There we go. And at the moment we actually have to import the fuel because there is no fuel production going on in our city at the moment. Eventually we'll be able to produce our own fuel, but not now, so we'll just import it. So now this truck will automatically refuel when it needs to, so you don't need to tell it to refuel. So to make it go, click on the vehicle again, and you'll see some options up here. The one we want is new stop, so we're actually going to be setting up a route for it. So we click on the new stop button, and we can now click on different buildings. So we're going to want it to go to our quarry first of all, and then we're going to want it to go to our processing plant. And you can add loads of different stops to it and set how much it loads and unloads at each stop. So to do that, click on each leg of the journey. So start the gravel quarry, and we want to fill it till it's full, so wait until loaded, and we want to just leave quarry stone ticked. So untick everything else except quarry stone. Then you go down to the second leg of the journey where we're going to unload. So we're going to have wait until fully unloaded, and we're going to unload again our quarry stone only, and it's all set to go. And up here, launch, start button, little checkered flag. So if we launch him, and you'll see off he goes. So I think what we should do is watch him. Look at the little icon there, the eye icon. You can see what he actually does. To get rid of the lock view on the truck, you just click on the cancel follow camera option of it. It's probably going to refill with fuel on the way at some point. As I say, I'll do it automatically. Watch him get on with it. The excavator actually has its fuel limits as well, so eventually the excavator will leave its post and go and refill itself with fuel. So it's very realistic in that respect. If we click on the dumper truck, you can see it's filling up with quarry stone, nearly at 12 tons. When it's at 12 tons, actually it will move off at 11, which is a bit strange. It's going off at 11 tons. Right. Hopefully it can get all the way to our processing plant without having to refuel, because it will just turn around halfway through a journey if it needs to refuel, which can be a bit frustrating, but I don't think it's going to need to. And in it goes. Okay, you can see, click on the quarry, the processing plant, that it's got the 10 tons of stone in here. The truck's not moving away because remember we told it to unload everything before it carries on its journey, so that will just sit there until we free up some of this stone. And to free that stone up, we have to turn it into gravel, and then obviously the gravel indicator will start moving up. And the reason why the processing plant isn't moving in terms of making the stone into gravel is because there are no workers, and you'll see that our accommodation, nearest accommodation, let's close this follow camera, is over here, and it's way too far away for people to walk. They're not going to do that. So actually in this episode then we will include how to start to move workers to different places. Now we're going to need a bus first of all, and we can get a bus from our vehicles depot, or you can order a bus through the bus station that you build, but we'll do it through here. So buy a new vehicle, or limit it down to a bus, and let's see what we've got available to us. So little minibus, 7 passengers, cheapest option of course, 60 passengers, 40 passengers, 52, 80 and 52. Let's go something in the middle, so let's go for a 40. Yeah, let's go for this one up here. Okay. And just like the dumper truck, there is our bus, and like the dumper truck it will also require fuel, and it will help itself using the petrol station here, gas station. So we need to actually set a station for the bus to stop at in the residential area, because we've got plenty of people who are living here. There's 38 workers without a job, so let's get them employed. So bus station, again, just 3 roads because I know it's there. I'm sure you can access it through different screens. And you can have a bus platform, which is, you'll see from here, is slightly bigger. You zoom in, quite a big structure, and it has quite a few slots for it to park. Or you can have a bus stop, which is, as it says on the tin, just a basic stop-start process. So let's actually have a platform, because it can have lots of buses stop at one time. It's like a bus station really, in other terms I guess. So we want this to be accessible to both of our housing structures, which we can sort out with a path so everything can be connected. So I probably will put this here, and you'll see the roads it's linked to. So you can see some road markers coming out of the building, and we'll just connect that up to our existing road. So let's go this way if we can. There might be okay. Try and get it that way a little bit more. That will do. Flatten the land, place, and we'll connect the other end of the road out as well. Hopefully we can get this to sort of join up. Oh. No, that was spectacularly wrong. Let's try that again. There we go, that'll do. Okay, so let's make the bus stop accessible to our living accommodation. You can see everyone's actually almost going on their own accord anyway, but we'll try and make it a bit easier for them. Spin the camera around so we can see what's going on. I think both of those living blocks can reach the bus station. Yeah, they can, so the bus station is accessible. So you can now see, if you click on the actual platform itself, you've got 10 people waiting to go to work. So workers, 26 people just wanting to travel, and then 5 students waiting to travel. You can limit who is allowed to travel, so in terms of where people should be going. So you could say that workers can only go and work here once there's a bus station nearby this building, of course. Or you can tell students or passengers even to only go to certain shops or leisure facilities, and students to only go to certain universities or schools, for example. But we're not going to be too fussy at the moment, because this is, as I say, just to show you how things work. So we need a stop at the other end now, so in this area. So what you could do, if you want it to be specific, you could make the bus go from the bus station to one place of work, and then it's very finite in that that will only be supplying one building with workers. Or if you place, for example, a bus stop in the middle of this industrial area here, it means anyone who gets off the bus at that point can access anywhere within walking reach of that bus stop. So it depends how broad you want it to be. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and get a bus stop, so not a station again, somewhere middle-ish, and then that means they can access a couple of different buildings. Again, you could plan this a lot better in your own game, but to show you how it works. So let's get a bus stop, and if we try and get that here, so we'll demolish the road, put the bus stop in the middle of it. It'd be nice if you could place the bus stop in an existing road, and then you could not have to worry about bulldozing the road to make way for it. And we'll connect that back up. See, it's just a bit time consuming to do that. It's another frustration, but early access games, it's just what it is. So if you click on the bus stop and you highlight the walking arrow, at the moment it can only reach 2 buildings, so we'll try and make it a bit easier for them. Maybe they can access some other buildings too. It doesn't like that. It doesn't like that at all. It doesn't matter, they can always get there because it's just a short walk on the road. I won't worry too much. But let me see if we can get them to go to other places. Let's connect as well. So perhaps now workers from this bus stop can get to the power plant. Not quite, still a bit too far for them to walk, but I guess the entrance is the other side. But still, anyway, for the point of demonstration, you can see that they can access the places we want to the gravel processing plant. There's still no workers, of course. And there is actually some passengers waiting here, and that's probably because they want to come over here to use some of the facilities, because there's no facilities over here, so they probably want to use the sports facilities and the pub. So that's all good. So let's make the bus start running. Again, click on the bus, and we set the stops just like we did the dumper truck. And we'll start it at the platform, and we'll stop it at the bus stop. And we can do just as we did with dumper truck. We can say who we can pick up, who we're not going to pick up. So we can only pick workers up, we could just pick students up, or just pick passengers up for leisure. And we're going to load and unload at the station, just anybody. I'm not going to be too fussy. There will be workers who get on the bus, and they're the ones that we're going to want. So 2 destinations, start, and the bus will roll off. It'll probably want to refuel on the way back. So off it goes. You can see people waiting to get on. There are lots of workers. Let's follow the bus. Let's pick the second slot for absolutely no reason. I don't know why I couldn't just pick the first one, but okay, so it's on its way. 21 workers, no students, no passengers. Kind of makes sense though, because why would a student want to come over here when there's no facilities for them, and equally, why would a passenger want to come over here when there's nothing for them to do? So off he rolls. Follow him again. You can track its speed and everything as well when it's on. You can see how fast it's moving and the weight in the vehicle. Okay, so as soon as it drops these passengers off, what I hope you'll see is people walking along the road and into the processing plant, and then it will start to work, and then the dumper truck can carry on its journey as well. So here come our lovely workers. And some people have gone off to the fire station to work as well, and here we go. We've got our workers, we're producing some gravel, and the stone is disappearing because it's being taken to gravel. And off the dumper truck goes, and the process starts again. What I would probably actually say at this stage is we'll leave the video here, because I think we've shown quite a lot of information in one go. Oh, there goes the bus refueling, that doesn't take long. Then in the next video I can show you how to then get the gravel out and we can store it. As you can see, the space will eventually run out, so we want something larger to put the gravel into to store. I hope you found that useful, and there's plenty more to come, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.